Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm on the FTOG Ozone Skyblock Reborn server, hanging out here under my storage base area, at what I call the guts of the operation here. And I've made a few changes here to improve a few things. Now, let me show you what I mean here. I've got a hammer back here as well as a sifter. And the sifter, it's got the netherite mesh, so it's the top with efficiency and fortune in there, so it's going to do as best it can. I've got it set up where I can put stuff in this diamond chest and it feeds it into the mesh if I have specific things. But over here, I've got a Gen 2 or Cobble Gen Tier 2, and I only need a Tier 1. But I upgraded it and I did need it. It's inputting to a drawer up above, and then that's feeding into the hammer here, and it's just slowly going through. I could improve it. I could put in here a hammer, and for a while, rolling back, I haven't done hardly any hammering and sifting because I really had gobs and gobs of stuff and I didn't need to. And then I was looking at some of the end stuff and I was going, I'm gonna need tens of thousands of ingots of various things. And I went, okay, some of them I've got plants. Okay, now I've got all plants, that as many as I can. But I said, I could let this run. And I did some testing, and tick-wise, it's not doing a lot. So I'm okay with having this here to process it. So a Gen 1 cobble tier, I keep wanting to say Gen 1, a cobble gen Tier 1 is sufficient to keep this going for the sifting. And it works fine. Anyway, I had a netherite hammer that had efficiency and unbreaking on it. And I had a diamond chest right here, and I would fill it up manually, the entire thing with cobble, and then I'd AFK for a while, and I'd come back and I'd pick up the hammer and repair it and put it back, and that was fine. And then I realized, I AFK a lot. Why not just let this process, and I don't care about the hammer. And after it broke, I just didn't care. So that's what I'm doing now, and that's processing through. And there's a long line of these trims over to that. And we'll get to that for a second. So I've got a lot more processing through here. You can see I've got, 111 or 118K of iron. I'm getting lots of iron. So I had to put a couple upgrades on this. What do we have? Yeah, I've got 2 of these storage upgrades. I only need 1, but I'm going to have 2 because it's going through. This one, I need 1 pretty soon because it's at 8K when that I need more. That one, okay, I've already got a storage upgrade for that. Anyway, I will make sure that these don't back up. I have plenty of room for these. And I can make lots of these upgrades. Anyway, the reason why I'm processing a lot of these, looking at some of the end recipes, and I'm not a big fan of the, hey, let's take a bazillion different things and cobble it together to make a single resource of which you need lots of. I'm not a big fan. But if I do decide to go that way, I'll have the resources. I did go through and condense down my ores, these the ones that get generated from the sifting. I condensed them down into a much smaller one, and I just have the gold here kicking around. And that's because I'm processing them as they come in. I had been pulling them out, making them into the raw into the ores, using my fortune pick to break them down and then processing them, sometimes processing them through here, and I would get 3, or I would process them sometimes just through the enrichment factory and then the smelter, depending on the ores. They have different rules as to which works better. And as I said, I'm taking all that manual stuff out. I had a comment a while back from Asterix who was saying that he does his ore processing by using an enrichment chamber, and here's an enrichment chamber, and a better furnace. I went, oh, Well, because see, there's a quest, and I've got, some stuff up here. There's a quest for the better furnaces, and let me see if I can find where that silly quest is. Okay, just gotta do the random clicking and find. Ah, here it is, under she here. So here's the better furnaces here, and then there's these forges that also are quests. And this was easy to do because once you make the copper furnace, then you can upgrade it to the iron furnace and upgrade it to the gold and upgrade and all the way to here. You need a copper furnace to make the copper forge. You need an iron furnace to make the iron forge. You need bugs me. So I have one ultimate furnace and I've got one of each of these. Because that's how it works. And eventually I'll make the Paxels to complete this quest. But yeah, I've got an ultimate forge over here. And I added in here the energy upgrade. So if I hit R on this, that's not hard to make. Does need this nether hot conductor block, which is using this, which is okay. And the gold conducting block, which is that. But not hard recipes. So now I'm using power instead of fuel. Yay. I also have this ultimate ore processing upgrade that quadruples the amount of ore that I smelt out of this. And that's not all that hard either. Okay, dragon heads, I get those from my mob farm. I've got plenty of emeralds. The raw ore upgrade, that's just this, more of these nether hot conductor blocks. I've got everything here. That's not hard to make. The advanced ore, this doubles, which is cool, but again, that's not all that hard to make. The ore processing upgrade, the only thing that's interesting is this one. Not hard to make, well worth pushing that through. And then there's the piping upgrade here. And if we hit that, that's super cheap. But that allows me to come in here and configure. I'm outputting from the bottom, but I'm inputting from the back. But that's the left. These position really weird. When I place them against the far wall, they don't place facing down. They place with the head pointing to me. And there, we just saw this process something. Here's the an elite enriching factory, and it's got 7 slots in here. So as the ores come in, like there's a little bit of iron. Oh, and we copper. No, that was aluminum. As they come in, they get processed. They get to each one of those little raws get turned into 4, and then it gets spit into my tesseract here and shoved into the system. This has been running super, super well for me. And that thing I was showing downstairs about that long strip, this is how I'm getting it over. I've got the drawer controller here, and that's 12 blocks away from my controller. So that's as far, I can't get it any further out, but that's okay. I've got an item pipe here with a advanced pipe upgrade in here. The diamond ones are easy to make. Sometimes if I really need to push it through, I'll make the netherite version. I really don't need to. But what I need to do is I've got rules in here that these raw ore chunks, or these chunks, they get processed. I'm going to add a new one, and let's put in here the gold ore. There it is. And the nice thing is you can just drag it right there. That's so cool. All right, so I'm going to add that, and now it's starting to pump in all my gold. And I've manually done that as I've been preparing for this, but it's going to rip through all of those. And I can sit there and turn it off if I want it to stop inputting the stuff. Anyway, let's get back up there and take a look. And so this is processing along. And as these are processing, it's generating 4 gold ingots for each one of those raw pieces. So this is fantastic. It's probably one of the best returns, except probably copper, because when you fortune copper, you can get a huge amount of raw ore back. I did that with one ore block of copper, and I got like 20 of the raw pieces back, which is that's a fabulous return. I don't care. This is so much easier for me. It just runs. And one of the benefit of having the forge over the furnace is I can process 3 things simultaneously if I really need to. Right now, because everything has been handled, it doesn't need to. But when this is processing multiple different ores simultaneously. 3 of them can go into here in these 3 different slots and go side. This is fantastic. If it weren't for the fact that I actually needed this for the quest, I wouldn't have built the ultimate forge, and I wouldn't have the elite factory here where it's got 5. Or 7. I'd probably do the advanced where it has 5, and probably the but I'm gonna go probably the diamond. I think that would be fast enough that it would keep up just fine, and no need to go even any further than that. Now you may be asking, okay, Grok, that maybe this is a huge amount of tick on the server, and the answer is no, not really. I've got observable here on the server as a way of checking what's going on. And if I hit the insert key, which is what I have bound for this, I'll do a profile of the ticks per server or ticks per second on the server. And if I turn on the overlay, this is barely ticking along. This is barely ticking along. There's not much going on here. Okay, that is ticking a little bit harder. That is the pipe with the filter on there. And because it's looking every tick for those items, that's why it's ticking a little bit hotter. There's a way around that, and that would be taking all of these items, these 3 of the drawers, bringing them over to here and have them appear where I have the slave, and then have a pipe coming from each of those. So if they get put in, they get pulled out by the pipe. They don't need upgrades. They don't need filters. And all that tick right there of 109 goes away. Speaking of which, if I look around through my world here, other than a cat over there, which I'm going to get rid of, there's not much tick here on the server, except for this right here. This is a solidification chamber. It has a little bit of fluid in it. And you notice this guy here is doing nothing, 11 ticks, and this is doing 113 because it has fluid. So if you are, here, I'm going to turn this off because it's distracting. If you are just leaving fluid sitting in your solidification chamber, don't, because you're causing tick. If you're not actively using these, don't have them out, because they cause tick. And that's one of the things I have a plan for these, so that's why they're out. And I left that there specifically to prove a point with the tick on there. Anyway, so that's a fantastic setup. It's really been working well, and all my gold is gone. I had 700 some odd, I think, in there, and they're all gone. And as this processes, it keeps up, and that's why while it's running and I don't have a backlog, I don't need these to be top tier stuff. Lowercase stuff works just fine and ticks less. So that's fantastic. Love that a lot. Now, one of the other things I want to do, and you can see I've got this apple sitting in here. Oh, I can get rid of all these recipes. Don't need them anymore. These 2 I kept in here, and they bug me. This is the auto upgrade, auto output, and auto input upgrades. And if you look at the recipes, they're cheap, but you got to make 2 of the pipings. And again, it's not all that expensive, but 2 of the pipings. If you use these, you will automatically pull in or push out your results, but you can only do one or the other. You can't use both an input and an output. This one here, I'm doing both. This one is pushing, and then it's outputting with this piping upgrade. If I were to put the auto output in, I couldn't push anything in. I couldn't use this. I'd have to do it all manually. That's really dumb. I played with it for a while, and I said, okay, you guys are just going to stay up there because you're dumb. I don't know why you would want those. They're worse. So, rant. All right, I want to make some more hearts. I have one, which I got as a loot reward, but I'd like to make more of these. And I've got all the bits. That's not hard. I just the reason why I pulled that stuff out was to make more of the obsidian pieces in the center. Gaia spirit ingots. That's not hard. I can make these from the seeds I've got and the terra steel. Oh, I could actually make a terra steel essence. You know, I think I might as well. Do I need a crux for this? No, it doesn't look like I need a crux for this. So cool. Yeah, I might as well make some more terra steel. Just because I can. Uh, anyway, looking at the recipe, the only thing that was hard, so Nether Star, Awakened Supremium Essence, I've got lots of those, Block of Netherite, Enchanted Apple, Golden Apples, we'll get to that. Crystallized Obsidian, we did that before. That's not all that hard to make. I made a bunch of those. Uh, Cakes, easy. Lily pads, I've got some nature essence I can use. I can also take vines and throw it through Botania with the catalyst and make lily pads, which is what I did. And then spaghetti dinner. I made a bunch of spaghetti dinner. I went ahead and made some toast. I grew some garlic bread. I went ahead and made the butter and all that stuff, the milk. Spaghetti and meatballs. Okay, here's a pasta more dough. I need to grow a bunch of tomatoes and spice leaf. I bought those plants, and so I've got that. The difficult thing is the golden enchanted apple. I have 8 of them from boss loots and chests and whatnot, but I need 9 because looking at my hearts, I've got 10 hearts there. 1 is yellow, the other 9 are orange, and I want to have a nice even layer of 9 yellow hearts or 10 yellow hearts. I need 10 of the big hearts. I need to get the oh. Well, to do that, I need a diamond apple, netherite nugget, and a golden apple. I have lots of these golden apples. Oh, plus honey. I can do the honey. In fact, I've already got the honey over here. I've got the honey. I've got the netherite. I just need that diamond apple. Well, let's take a look at the diamond apple. We go back to what was it? Oh, this one here, the diamond apple. The recipe for that is there's no recipe. Well, that's not so good. However, if you do a search for diamond apple, you get diamond apple sprout, which grows diamond apples. Well, that's handy. Okay, so here's a recipe. What does it say here? Plant below a leaf block to grow diamond. Okay, I figured that would be the case. So I need diamonds around a chocolate apple. Okay, chocolate apple, I need cocoa beans around a honey apple. Okay, that I need an apple with a honey block. Okay, we can do that. Let's take a look for apples. I have 1, and I'm glad I did. I'm drawing a black. Oh, I know where all the rest of the apples. They're over in my home base in the cooking area. Okay, I'm glad I had the 1 apple here. Otherwise, I was afraid. A glass bottle plus the honey essence gives me a honey bottle, and if I do 4 of those, that gives me the honey block and returns me those. And now I have a honey apple. Yay! And I think that's a quest. It is. So now I can make my chocolate apple or plenty of other apples. But right now I want the chocolate apple. And with the chocolate apple, now I can make, oh, I get 2 of these sprouts. Oh, well, okay. Oh, and that was 2 quests. Let's run over to here. And I was thinking I could just, since I've got this growing over here, I could put, you know, what if I put 1 here and 1 there? Why not? Can I water them to make them grow faster? It kind of looks, yeah, looks like it kind of is. Can I twerk my way to a better deal? Let's grab some shears. And I'm seeing some particles over there. I don't know if it's really doing anything, but that's a lot of shift clicking, and I'd rather not. So I think I'll do the wicked. So that's 43, 57%, 71. Who's gonna win? I think the one on the right's gonna win because it just needs 1 growth tick. And the one up, there we go. The right one won. Hey, how do I get you off? So if I look at this, yeah, plates. So yeah, and if I do diamond apple, must be grown and harvested from a sprout. Yeah, I'm right-clicking you. Can I right-click you like that? Okay, what if I, do I have to let, Oh, that means I can't just continually. Okay, so that's how it's preventing, people harvesting ultimate huge amounts of those once they grow it. Okay. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of, that sort of scarcity, but okay. We'll just let that go. Break you. They are slow breakers. All right, but that's okay. We'll put them away. And that. So if I come back over to here, now that I have my enchanted gold apple, put that in there. Now I should be able to make a bunch of these heart canisters. And I should be able to make 9 of these. Yep. And then I ran out of the bits, which is okay. Let's try. And now I've got all 9 of them. In fact, I'll go back to my center here, let the regen kick in. There we go. And my saturation. So now I've got a bunch of hearts, which makes me very happy. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, I am super stoked right now because I decided to turn in 20 of my gold coins, and I don't have many. And I got what is probably the best reward ever. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I've got 3 left. I got a block of dark matter, which in and of itself isn't all that useful, but this 4 pieces of dark matter, okay, that is far more impressive. If we take a look at the recipe on this, I need Eternus fuel, which I've got, and calorite ingots, which I have to get into Ad Astra and off to Venus. So I definitely want to go that route because I want to make a bunch of. Hush, guys, I'm talking. I do want to go that route, but I'm not there yet. However, what I can do is I can sacrifice 3 of these to make red matter. And I got the Eternus fuel because I made some of the tier 1. Well, I'll show you because I've shown them off before. I made 4 of these, the energy collector Mark 1s and this antimatter relay a while back when the recipe was much cheaper, and now the recipe is much more expensive. And I've just been giving them gunpowder because I have lots and I don't care about any of it, and just told it make Eternus fuel, and it's been slowly making Eternus fuel, which is fine. I'm just thinking it's a way of making some EMC for me. But if I come into here, flux stars, super easy, make 2 of those. Red string, that took me a little bit because I needed to go to the end to get me an ender bottle, and a regular empty ender bottle. An empty bottle in the end will get you the ender air bottle. Say that 3 times fast. Pixie dust, that's easy. That's just a ender pearl in the mana pool into the gateway. And so I made the red string. To mending, I just threw the mending spell onto an item, stripped it off, threw it on again using the Britannia, easy. And then these covalence dusts, that's not all that hard. The problem was getting the rich slag, and I made a stack of each. The rich slag, I went ahead and processed through the induction smelter, and I'm trying to think of what I threw through it to actually generate. I think I got a whole bunch of redstone ore, because when I was needing redstone, I would get that plus a chance of the rich slag, and I used my digital miner a long time back to get lots and lots and lots and lots of redstone, so I could have more redstone here because I was very much out. Let's toss you in there. This makes the repair talisman, and I have no idea what I'm going to use for the 1 piece of dark matter. I don't think there's anything I can. However, I can go in here into my belt slot, and I will put that right there. Is it visible? Yeah, doesn't look like it's visible. Anyway, what this will do is this will slowly repair stuff I have. 14, 15. This repairs my stuff, which is fantastic. Because that's exactly what I've been looking for. I like having my stuff in a state where it doesn't break. And that's why I like taking these things and dropping them into here, which does a real quick, fast, repair of the stuff. But I have to come here to do that. Whereas if I'm out in, wherever place, and I'm trying to remember, would I grab a whole bunch of stacks? But I was getting very, very low on soul sand. So I went ahead and grabbed several stacks of soul sand, and that's why the durability has been used on it. But now it'll repair. I fight some mob and some of my armor gets damaged. I don't care. Give it a little bit, it'll repair. I love that. I love having repaired stuff that works. And I was going to make the repair talisman earlier, but it had a different recipe. It needed stuff that I didn't have, and then we updated the pack, and the recipe changed. And I was going, oh, red matter. I just won't have red matter for a long time, unless you get really lucky. I was going, yay, best quest reward. I turned in a few of the copper coin rewards and went, I don't care. A lot of those are very similar, at least to my opinion, of the rewards I'd been getting as I'd done the quest. You occasionally get little bits and go, okay. That repair anvil back there, fantastic reward. I got that very early on, and yes, that was very, very good. But now I got the repair talisman, and I like that even better because then I don't have to go back there and stick it over there. I hold it, and it repairs. It's repairing. It's a fantastic thing. I just like having my stuff non-damaged. I've had too many tools and whatnot break on me over the many years of playing Minecraft, and I don't like it. These are my tools. I don't want them to go away. Anyway, this is a very happy Grok played on the FTOG Ozone Skyblock Reborn server, and I've got repairing. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.